I really wanted to get into rotoscoping. And so just like this video, I thought it would be as simple as grabbing a camcorder, sitting on the ground, pointing at me, and just walking across the stage a couple times, and then taking still shots and drawing on top of it as a reference. But it became very difficult once I got the playback done. And the reason is a fixed camera is you're relying on walking in a straight line. And in this example, you can see here is the camera's at one point, and as you walk across in a straight line, it's getting different parts of your body. So when you actually cut that animation of one walk cycle, you can see your body rotate towards the camera and then cut away from it in a jarring little jerk, and it doesn't really work. And what you actually have to do, you have to get somebody to video for you, or which I figured out it just seemed to work the best was to walk in an approximate arc from the camera. That way it keeps your shoulder the same orientation away from the center of the camera, and it seemed to work. I'm not a Premiere expert by any means, but I have a couple tricks that I know that'll go and help us export. And one of the things that you have to do is a little bit of motion tracking. It'll save you a lot of time in the long run. Instead of taking each frame of you walking past the frame, you can actually use some motion tracking, and it's actually pretty simple. So this is the raw video I actually shot. This is shot on a white wall, and I used the yellow wall, the yellow line as reference. So I knew to, when I walked, I actually arced away from the yellow line and then back into it, where the highest point was roughly where the camera was centered. So that way, and this is the one I liked, actually, this walk cycle. So I'm actually gonna find a distinctive point that I can use as reference and start my looping. So in this point, I am going to start when this foot touches the ground and the knee is just about to pass it. Not where you can see the knee, but just before it pops out, right there. First of all, I grabbed this clip and I zoomed it up a lot. Then I moved it. That's what we want. What we want to do is, first you can actually click the clip. We don't need the audio. So I'm gonna right click here and unlink. And I'm gonna go ahead and delete the audio track. Now, to export this into frames, you're gonna want a separate folder. Okay, all you do is go export, media, and you're going to keep the same resolution and settings, but under format you have H.264, which is what it was shot in, all this stuff, but I actually selected JPEG. And you'd think it would just select that one JPEG, but if you look, it automatically selects the preset of a JPEG sequence. So you pick the folder you want, and then when you do export, it saves all those frames up. Even once you have your video captured and all your frames exported, you make your one sheet with all your frames intact on one place, so you can kind of concentrate on doing one type of draw style. It could be a straight trace, or you can actually export the straight video clip frames themselves to make a realistic looking animation. But the fun comes in when you actually have some artistic twist to what you're going to do. So you can actually look at all your frames and decide on a style. Like, all your frames are going to be here. You can simply just make it black and white. You can actually cross-hatch or do something artistic or make it more sketchy. You can use standard Photoshop filters, or you can actually go ahead and actually draw on it on a tablet, or actually scan in paper to make it look like it's hand-drawn, or actually is hand-drawn. So I went through a couple iterations of a style that I wanted all my walking cycles to look like. So I started with the basic face and actually kind of just traced out the proportions of the face without facial hair. Anyway, that is creepy. That's some creepy looking dude, man. So that's maybe what I'd look like without any hair, but it's accurate from the video, and it just looks nasty. So, and I kind of advanced it to kind of match my pattern, and it looked even worse. It looked like a fish dude who robs like a liquor store. So anyway, what I kind of went through like 10 different iterations, because once I pick a style, you're gonna have to do it for like hundreds and hundreds of frames. Try and maintain what you're using for the brush and the kind of way that you crosshatch, or not, maybe you just do simple line drawings, but I kind of decided on something a little more like this, with a varying ink stroke on the tablet. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the walk frames, hopefully mimicking this style. Okay, now all our PNG walking cycle images are completed. We can go ahead and drag them into something to check our animation, see how it looks. I'm going to use my game development platform here, and again, this is a rough test. If you want to see any tutorials on how to build your own games, I have tutorials earlier on in the series you can check out. But I'm going to just drag all those assets into an animation, and we can just spot check how it looks. Okay, so we're just going to scale them, make sure it can stay on the stage, and see what our rough test looks like. And there's our guy. So you can see there's some bobbing and weaving going on with his head, and the head isn't as dark as the other pieces, but this is what we're going to use as a template to really flush out our style of animation. But anyway, yes, if you want to see where this goes, this is going to be part of a series where I do the animation for a video game that's in progress. Also part of a tutorial system on game making. If you're interested in seeing the progress of how that goes, feel free to go ahead and subscribe or like, or definitely ask me any questions of the tools I'm using, and I'll bounce you and reply right back. Okay, thanks for watching.